by the time we get done. So just kind of keep that in mind, and that will help us help you along the way here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just give a very quick intro on here. Um, Really, my whole story, my background here is really all about change. And this the person on the left hand side is me just a couple of years ago. Was carrying a little over 100 pounds of extra unwanted fat. It's about 42 years old in that picture there on the left hand side. Chronic alcoholic, overeater. That's really how I self medicated, and I was an expert at avoiding life and responsibility. The person on the right hand side of the screen, that's a higher version of myself. That's a cleaned up self. The person on the left hand side a couple years ago, unemployed, about 3 months behind on my mortgage. It's a rolling 90. It was literally living on credit cards, just shifting the sands back and forth on them. And it was about $45,000 in credit card debt. And my wife and kids decided finally that they had had enough of me and they had left. And I came across a contest by Will Phillips called Transformation. And a very fitting term on this. Transformation.com is a completely free site. There was an 18-week contest about really changing yourself from the inside out and making a difference in the world by changing yourself first. And there was a $50,000 prize. So I thought, what the heck, I got nothing to lose. It sounds perfect for me right now. It's just what I need. So I ended up winning the contest, but more importantly, I ended up winning my life back and my family back. This is a picture of my wife and my kids, and we reinstated our 10-year marriage vows. And it's actually, we got married in Korea. That's where my wife is from. And since then, my life has completely changed. And at this point in my life, I was physically, emotionally, and had all my kind of demons under control there. So things were looking good, but I had one thing that just wasn't quite figured out on that end of it, and that was the financial piece of it. That money that we'd won there was really just kind of keep me afloat. Until I came across this course here, which some of you are probably familiar with. It was Mike Keenan's Main Street Marketing Machines, and it just made sense. Hey, offline clients, electricians, plumbers, dentists, real estate agents, whatever, they need an online presence where their business and where their clients are moving to, and it made a lot of sense to me. And some of the challenges that I was having at the time there is I actually purchased that course, but I purchased that course on a credit card. It was just the first payment is the only one that I could afford. I was super broke at the time, but I dove into the course. This is pretty much how broke I was. I was driving around this old beat-up 1982 Mercedes diesel, and I had rigged it so it would run off of vegetable oil, and I had some restaurants around that I would pick up their dirty vegetable oil and run it through a filter, and so I could literally drive around for free. And that's what I did. But since then, things have completely changed. I've upgraded every area of my life. Today, my family and I, we travel all over the world. I'm in Korea right now, and when winter time comes here, which it hits pretty hard in Korea, we're probably going to head off to Spain for a while. But we have that mobility and that freedom now. I also speak all over the country, primarily about transformation and transforming from the inside out. I do some IM events, internet marketing events. Paula Abdul her and I have an event that we do together. She has a very similar background to me. Her drug of choice though was actually more pharmaceuticals. She's actually a really amazing lady. I've been featured on a ton of television shows all over the country, and this is one backstage here where John Asseroff was one of the guests on in the morning, and I was on later on in the afternoon if you saw The Secret. And probably the highlight of my career is when I got a call from Dan Kennedy's office, and I didn't know who the heck Dan Kennedy was, so I really wasn't that interested in going. But luckily, the guy who gave me a call from his office said, "You really need to go." And so that's Dan Kennedy and I, and we're in his studio there, and he's filming and interviewing me on a show that he did called Recession Made Millionaires, and that was people who had grown their business to beyond high seven figures within a year during the recession. And that's exactly what I did. And I was able to take my offline business, and this is a tax return not last year, but the year before. It was the first year in the business. It was made $6 million and some change on that end of it. And I was able to do that because I was able to really expand and grow my business. And I was able to do that quickly because I was able to get lead gen sites ranked up on page one really fast and get them to stick. And in most cases, with backlinks, and if we did need some backlinks, minimal effort at the most, nothing complex or crazy about it. And that's really all about speed marketplace. So with that, what I'd like to do right now is just kind of talk about the exact strategies that I use to take these lead gen sites and actually real ones, some real money sites that I actually use, and exactly how I structure the site. Because it's really all about, I know we've heard this before about giving Google what they want, but what exactly do they want? And it really has not changed since day one. It's been the exact same thing, and even more so today as they get more and more sophisticated. At the end of the day, really all they want to do is they just want to give the end user a really good experience. So can you give a website where the end user has a good experience? And Google views your site as an authority and rich with content. So that's really what it boils down to. So let's go ahead and take a look at that here. So we did here, and we'll really do these sites within sometimes 1 day, 12 days is usually around the range on here. And let me actually show you a site. I'll show you a lot more of these. These are actually sites, and these are lead gen sites, so you can poke around them, you can reverse engineer them. I'll show you some other ones that are actually that I use for training that you can kind of poke through and kind of see how the design is and the on-page structure. Feel free to take a look at these. Just don't call the owners. Or fill out their forms or anything like that. So the first one here is Bill Von Henderson. No, I was we're this one here brand new from start to finish on here, and I'll just kind of show you the video proof of that. I'll just walk through it and I'll sound on it. This is just me. I'll give you access to this later, but this is me logging into my GoDaddy account. I'm showing where I bought it. Here's the domain, the date. And an absolutely brand new site. And move forward here a little bit, and then what I do is I come across the New York Times. I refresh the screen a couple times, just kind of timestamp it, and then we go look in the search engines, and we'll see right here. And I'm actually going to take a look at this page because I want to show you a little bit about how I actually make money off of this site, because it's not just a it is a very lucrative money site. So this is round number 7. It is now pretty much stuck on page 1, and that's where it is right there. And I'm using, I've got a Korean IP address, so it's not showing some of the normal stuff on there. But no matter what IP address you're showing from, I'll be above the fold for sure. But this is a site here, and these are some of the stats of it in Google AdWords. And so according to Google, the competition is high. You want to do your own analysis of that, obviously. But the local broad search is about 590. And the thing that's really key here for me, and I'll talk about this more later, this is how I make all the money off the site once I get them up to rank quickly, is someone's paying around $20 cost per click. And I'm delivering a cost per live lead, which is worth a lot more. So it doesn't take a whole lot of phone calls getting from that site to make a nice little living off of just that one little site there. So that's how that makes. The thing is if I have to sit there and backlink it and take months or weeks to get up to page 1, I'm not gonna get as quickly as I want to. So it's really more about on-page SEO and structure here. So let's get into that. Exactly what do I mean by that? And we're going to look at a basic, I call it a silo site structure. We're going to look at a basic one. We're going to look at some other real sites, and this is the exact same structure that I use. And I'll show you how the interlinking goes and stuff like that. And I'll even show you where we get some of the content 100% original for free. So we'll also go into that too, because that's also about speed in marketplace. If you have to sit and write your content all the time, that's a cost, and it's going to take you longer to get in the marketplace. And the idea is to get these sites up ranking quickly, get them leased out, or use them as lead gen sites, and expand out as many as you can as quickly as you can. And that's how I learned literally from within a 12-month span of time of getting mainstream marketing machines, going in there, doing it the traditional consulting way, to making around $5,000, $6,000, sometimes $8,000 a month, to almost making that per day. And while I stop right there, let me just do this too, because and that's not to this is not a brag or anything like that, but I remember one time somebody actually showed me. They actually showed me their account. I was like, and the particular person, we want to go to PayPal. Particular person logged their account, showed me their account. And they were making like over $20,000 a month. I was like, wow, that just like opened up my eyes. I'd heard people doing that, but until you actually see it, sometimes when you see it, it just kind of wakes you up and you go, yes, it is possible. So I'm just going to log into my account. I'm going to show you that I make quite a bit more than $20,000 a month. And this is just to show you what is possible. And I'm going to show you some other students as well, so that you don't just see what my income is, but you can see kind of what the range can be. I'm going to just darken out your screen just for a second, and the only reason is because I'm going to log in, and on the front page I have a number of different PayPal accounts, because I divide my corporations actually up into 7 different ones, and that's just a business strategy for protection when you're over $3-4 million. You know, those are the kind of things that you want to do to kind of protect and insulate yourself. So I don't want to set that for showing it. I'm sure you all have PayPal accounts, and on the PayPal account with the Pro accounts, you'll see the company name and the address and stuff right there. And then as soon as that clears through, I'm going to go into the back end where you've got the annual reports and you got the monthly reports, and that shows you a screenshot. And we'll go through a couple of months really quickly right there. And I should add, while this is going on here, that results are not typical. That you're obviously running a business, and you have the potential to lose and to gain. You're an entrepreneur. But anybody who's on this phone call on a Sunday evening is not that typical. Okay, so go ahead and turn that back on. And now I'm just in the back end of it. That's all. It's just, you know, this is PayPal back end right here. And I'm just going to go into the monthly report, because the monthly report shows the actual summary. So it shows you a snapshot of what came in, all the receivables that came in here, and wherever June now. We'll take a look at April, and we'll look at the last couple of months on here, and the report's just loading up at the bottom right here. Again, I'm not above anybody on this phone call. It's not to brag or nothing like that. I just want to show you that what I'm sharing with you really, really does work, and in a huge way. And this is just one of my accounts. It's more of a significant one, I'll grant you that, but it's well over $1 million account. And that's over $3,000 a day, by the way, if you're wondering. So this right here is about what you see, payments received, it's about $190,000. Okay. So it's going to just see how we're doing here. We're going to May, last month. And we do take our counts and kind of shift them around depending on how the months are. If we have a really high month, we might shift accounts over to a different a different part of our corporations. There's 7 of them on here, and here's about 144,000 brought in, and that's just because we had shifted some funds we were bringing in. We don't like to get over $200,000 in any one account or one, and we'll have to keep it nice and simplified. These are just a little bit more high-level strategies when you get to that level. Anyways, let's go back here. I just want to make sure that you realize that this kind of stuff actually does work, and you really can make an incredible living off of doing these lead gen sites. But the thing is you can't be behind the computer all day long doing all this SEO work and all this. It's really about speed in the marketplace. So I hope I have your attention with that. You know, some of these things may seem simple. They work like mad. So let's take a look at this. This top part here, this is what I call a single silo structure site. And the top part here is Mobile Mechanic. It's actual homepage. And it's a very specialized site. In other words, we're actually going to look at some of these sites too, and so I'll show you how they look in the real world. And it's really trying to rank just for Mobile Mechanic plus the city name, and it's trying to rank not just for the exact term, but for the broad, right? Because we all know we can go in, we go to Google Word Tool. It's not always accurate, but you can go in there, but you really want to try to rank for the broad, because obviously that's going to capture a larger net of people out there. And the way that we structure these sites actually end up ranking for broad terms. And so this top page, this top part is a page. Everything below it is a post. Okay. So this top part is a page. Everything below it is a post, and it's a post of around 400-ish articles that are just theme related. anything to do really with kind of automotive. It doesn't specifically have to be with mobile mechanic. It's just, it could be on, tips on how to save gas, how to change a tire on your car, safest way to, get a jump start. Anything to do with kind of car and car repair, stuff like that can be very broad, okay? And that's okay, that's good to know. We're just letting Google know that, hey, this site is clearly all about kind of mobile mechanic and everything that would have to do with kind of repairing a car and upkeeping it and how to check the air pressure on your tires and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you how you actually get these articles 100% original. I'm going to show you this right now in just a second, and then we run it through CopyScape and you'll find out 100% original, and there's an endless supply on any topic that you want out there. So that's another way for Speed to Marketplace on here. Now, each one of these posts down here, so the top page is a home page, and the bottoms are all posts. They all have just one anchor text, and the one anchor text is pointing just to the home page. The posts are not like daisy chained together. It's really important that they're not daisy chained together. They have a good article in it, original content, and they've got one anchor text. And the anchor text, we just try to make it look natural, just like you probably already know and heard about, if you're going to do off-page SEO, traditional backlinking from other sites and other articles, that you want to vary your anchor text on there. That's why on some of these, this is the anchor text that I'm showing. One is like this, click here, because it's just very natural looking. If you want to check it more, click here. We might just put just the raw URL. Hey, click here, go to Mobile Mechanic Austin, click here. And then these other ones are just all kind of variations of mobile mechanic on that end of it. And we're not trying to, we might, if mobile mechanic Austin, which that happens to be our main keyword because it gets the most searches, we're just going to have one article that has that anchor text on it. We're not going to try to stuff it. We just try to get as much of other variations of it. And everything that I do and everything that my company does is all about minimal effort, maximum results. Okay, so we're not looking to do, we're looking to give as least amount of posts, and there's more to it than this, but this is kind of where we start, right? So we start with the banner, and let's take a look at an actual site. So I want to show you that we, one of the other things that we do that's really cool with these sites is that we take actually the exact same site, and we've figured out a way by geo-targeting, and I'll share all that with you too, to just literally, once we got the site up, like of the bail bond site up in Henderson, we literally just copy it in 100 to 150 cities. And that's exactly what we've done here. This is Mobile Mechanic Sharp. This is Mobile Mechanic Dallas. We're all #1 up here, by the way. This is Mobile Mechanic New York, us too. Mobile Mechanic Indianapolis. You're starting to get the idea. Now you've got 150 of these sites out there, and they're bringing you in leads, and it really, really starts to add up. You don't need a whole lot of niches to do that with. In fact, you can just have one niche in about 50 to 100 cities and you're done. We're not having to reinvent the whole site or theme or none of that stuff. And everything that I'm teaching and sharing with you is actual real stuff. This is not theory. There's a lot of things that you hear out there, like you've got to slightly vary the theme of the page. Some of you have probably already started clicking through some of these mobile mechanic sites and even searching other cities, Miami, San Diego, everywhere. We're all over the place. They're all the same thing. Okay, we didn't vary it and we're stuck, and we've been there for a long time. And all these sites ranked anywhere from 1 to 12 days, sometimes maybe a little bit longer. You can't always, predict exactly what Google algorithm is going to do. Some days it likes you a little more, some days it doesn't. Eventually you're going to get there, so we're not worried about it. So let's take a look at this. I actually click on here. We'll take a look at the site, and we'll dive in a little bit deeper about how that's structured, that bubble map that we just looked here. And let me pause this video because that video starts automatically. So this is our home page. Okay, so this is our home page. Okay. And this is the actual top of the silo. So let's just go through this. I don't want to lose anybody if it seems really elementary. That's okay, because we're going to get more complex. So it's important that you grasp this. The next one goes, oh, okay, I get it. I connect the dots. This is our home page. This is it. We're trying to send everybody in all of our search engines, all of the search engines for broad searches. We want it to come right here to the home page, and it's our major call of action. We're either, here, contact this form, fill this out. By the way, just just to let you know that about, and this is where across many niches, that about 30 to 40% of people when they shop online, they actually prefer to fill out a form with a message, and they'll give you a real phone number and they'll give you a real detailed message, and they really want to have real answers and responded to. And about 6 to 7 people out of 10 prefer to call. Just FYI, and that's pretty much the same across a lot of niches. So if you're offering some kind of opt-in for a lead, you're offering just as one or the other, you're missing out on a lot of lead options right there. So that's just what we've got. It's pretty hard to get. I mean, we've got a video here. It automatically starts. I paused it. There's not a whole lot else going on here. There's no drop down. There's no other page here. We have service area. We have contact us, but there's form. There's no other distractions here. You're either here because you want a mobile mechanic, or you don't. There's no interesting articles to read. We're not offering those on the side. So where do we put those articles at? Those posts, and let's go back to this reference back here, so you know. So it's all of these down below here. These are all posts, not pages. Okay, it's important that formula remains the same. They're all down here. So if I go ahead and I click on here, and this is, saving fuel by Mobile Mechanics. Okay, great. So just a lot of there. If they happen to land on this page, we make every page like the home page. In other words, if they happen to land here, get here for some reason, but they don't. So this is a one article on here, and like I said before, it's got one anchor text. It's right here. If I click on this, it's going to take me right back to the home page where we were, and that's it. It's just one. Some of the article, like I said, will have click here. Some we'll just make it look natural. We're not trying to keyword stuff this thing, like how many times can we get mobile mechanic in here, 1 or 2% of the time? No, just one time. That's it. And if we don't get it in at all, that's fine too, because Google's smart enough to know that this is about how to save fuel, and this is themed out. This has to do with that whole topic. And we're going to get into this in a minute. This is one of our geo-targeting things that we do. Then this is a little breadcrumb at the bottom. If we click either way, we have a lot more than 3 sites here, but I'm just showing 3. All this is just in every WordPress site, you've got the little widget for your posts, and you've got the option to show, do you want to show the 3 most recent posts or the 10 most recent? And we just choose 3 because it just fits in our footer almost nicely. It doesn't quite do that because the titles are kind of long, but we just show 3. But we've actually got about 8, and in this particular niche, that's kind of all we need. If we needed to rank up higher, instead of adding, say, more links to it, we would just add more articles with an anchor text pointing back to the home page. It's kind of like it's very similar to having an article or something else posted out there, but now it's just internally on their site. There's a couple of things with that. There is still actually some link juice on these posts that do get pushed up and do transfer to the home page. But more importantly, when Google crawls this, they can just tell that this site is totally themed out. It's easy to follow, and these guys are like the experts. So if someone is looking for a mobile mechanic or some kind of broad variation term of that, Google says this is one of the sites we want to show because it's just good with content. It's got great information to it. There's nothing crazy or spammy about it. It's great on that end of it. So that is how we do that. Now we're going to get it. We're going to kind of step up here and get just a little bit more complex as far as how we structure the sites out. But the majority of my lead gen sites, the majority of the 5,000 plus that we have out there, are pretty much just like this. Very simple, very specialized. We're not getting too crazy about it. You'll hear me say this again and again, but the riches are in the niches. So the kind of more niche we get, the more targeted customers, more targeted leads, the easier it is to make these themed out sites here. I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm just going to click on here, right? Because it's going to take me back to the home page for my one anchor text. And here we are back to the home page. This is where we really want the search engines and everything to kind of bring us here on this end of it. Okay, so this is where we're going to go from here. I want to actually talk about the actual, how are we structuring the actual content on this page, the actual content, how many words, how many keywords, all this kind of stuff on this page. How are we doing that? Okay. Um, I'm going to first talk about it, and then I'll show you actually on the slide as we kind of lay it out to step by step. Some stuff is totally basic to some of you. Some parts of it might be brand new, but just pay attention. Even if you have heard it before, know that it really, really works. So let's go ahead and get started here. So basically, if I take this page and I right click it, and then I go to page source, let's take a look at the page source, even though it kind of looks like Chinese to me still. It's actually, this is just, I use this the most basic WordPress plugins, nothing real fancy at all. So this is, as you can see here on the, when we look at this, it's just all in SEO back. In fact, it's, we need to update it. It's not even updated. But what I want to show here is my keywords, and these are my keywords for my site on here, and they're in the order of what gets the most searches. So mobile mechanic Charlotte gets the most searches, so that's that's kind of our main keyword. Mobile auto repair, that gets the second most searches, and so on and so forth down the line. Okay, so we're not getting too crazy with this. We're not trying to stuff them on into these. We've usually got about 4 or 5, and then the slight variations of the main keyword right here. Now, we use what we do from here is we do H1, H2, and H3 tags. So this one will be our H1 tag, this one will be our H2 tag, and this one will be our H3 tag. And if I just simply hit here, just like that, there we go. I just type in H1 and I search for it. Where is the previous right here? So this is an H1 tag, and that's mobile mechanic Charlotte. And if I go in here and type H2 tag, then it's going to be, where's the next one on here? It's right here, and it's natural. It's got the call in here. It's got a phone number, but it's our next term on here. And then there's, of course, there's a H3 tag. So pretty basic there. The words on here we're looking at, there's no super magic formula. We're looking for around 500 to 800 words. We do want this to be all original content in here, and we like it rich. So we've got, we've always got a video. Google really likes video, and then like images. It just gives a better end user experience. Now each one of these pictures on here, we don't swipe them from Google Images. We get the smaller versions, which are only about a couple bucks a piece, and we buy them, from any kind of iStock photos or something like that, and we just have the rights to use them. When you get the smaller ones versus the high resolution large ones, they're really inexpensive, but they're really valuable. And so what we've done, if I hover over these pictures, each one of these pictures is actually a citation. And so, because the only here's actually, I'm going to assume you know what a citation is, right? So that my citation here is just the company name, the address, and the phone number, and I keep it the same everywhere. And that's what happens when I hover over it. That's letting them know that, hey, this particular photo is about this company, and this is where this company is located, and this is their phone number. And then we just put a little title at the bottom of it. They're just alt images. You go in to the back end when you're adding images, and you'll see a little alt tag, and that's all we're doing. We're just adding alt tag and just a title on here, and it's just for Google and the other search engines know, hey, okay, they got images. Kind of what are the images about? Oh, this image is about mobile car repair. Where's it located? We're geo-targeting it. This one's about mobile auto repair, and here's the target, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of begins kind of our geo-targeting on here. This is our H1 tag right there. This one's our H2 tag I showed you back there. And we're not trying to get crazy, and there is no percentage that I go after for keywords in there. I'm just trying to get them in once. If they happen to slip in by accident, otherwise fine, but really I just want to get in there one time. I'm not trying, and in fact, if I try to, when I write an article, if I notice that the keywords are coming up too much, I'll try to back them down. I really just need to see them there once. I don't want anybody to think, any of the search engines, that we're trying to stuff this thing with as natural as possible. Down here below this, is our second kind of geo-targeting that we're doing. And this is just a site, right? That's all that is. And then these are just the areas within around a 30-mile radius. It would depend on what kind of niche it is, right? This is mobile, so they, obviously it's mobile, so they can drive around. So about a 30-mile radius to the cities, and these are the zip codes within a 30-mile radius of downtown Charlotte, and we've just kind of grayed this out, not to like trick Google. If we're trying to trick Google, we would make it white, right? And we're not doing that. Google's totally all over that. We're just making it less, giving attention to the end user. We just want the end user to really pay attention to this. That's all we want. We just want them to fill out the form and call. We don't want to take that kind of action. And if they get down here, they're like, oh, okay, that's not very interesting. Cool. We'll just stay up here. Same idea and concept with the articles. This is why we're keeping the articles down here. One other really important feature, and I know this from doing so many sites, is you've got to have, and Google Webmaster, Google, and Bing, and Yahoo, they all ask for this, by the way. It's kind of like one of their requirements. And not everybody follows it, but they're asking for it, and that is, they're trying to say, hey, look, are you a professional company? Do you have disclaimers? Do you have a linking policy, privacy policy, terms of use? Do you have a testimonial disclosure on here? They want to know that on here. So it's important to put it on there. It's so important to the search engines. We've seen this time and time again. We'll build our sites out, we'll make them live, and guess what? The first pages get indexed every time. These guys down here, every time they get indexed. What follows after that, usually our homepage and then some posts. And that's how important it is to Google. I mean, Google search engines are literally looking for them right off the bat. And very few sites put them on there, but that just lets Google know, hey, these guys are running a professional business. They're treating it like a business. They've got all their terms, their legal terms down below. And so that's really our on-page structure. There's really not much more to it than that. As far as the articles go on here, we're not posting them all at one time. What we do is that for these kind of niche sites that are actually really quite easy to rank for, we might just get like maybe 5 to 8 posts, have them all preloaded, all ready to go, and just load them all up in the site. We kind of run these like assembly lines. We load them all into the site, and then we'll just go in, and with any WordPress site, you can say, okay, I want this article to post in 7 days, and then I want this next post to post 14 days after the first one, and then the next one about 21 days after. So it's letting Google know, hey, these guys are regularly adding content. We're not having to physically do it. We can just build the whole site up one time, and we're on that. So let's step it up just a notch here. It's the same concepts. It's just if you get a little bit more complex. Okay, so this is a silo structure. It's a little bit more advanced, and I've made a particular training site that you can go out and take a look at. There's nothing to opt in or anything like that. It's just a site with no content on it, and it's describing how every page should be, and it has a link, so you can kind of click through it. Because I know when I first started learning about this kind of stuff, it took me a while to wrap my mind around it. But so this would be for another local type site, but this would be one that would have some more or different types of search terms that actually get good searches, and you want to rank for them. So this would be computer repair plus the city name. Now, computer repair plus the city name, that's going to get the most searches. That's why it's at the top here. It's kind of the main home page. All of the yellow boxes here are all pages. Any box on here that is non-yellow is a post. Okay, so these are I call it the silos. So there's one silo, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your main home page. Now my main home page, computer repair, whatever the city name is, it's going to have my most broad searches. So I want that. But if you just type in laptop repair, San Diego, you're going to get a lot of searches for that too. Not as much as computer repair, but you're going to get a lot. So you want to be able to rank for that as well. Now there's PC. People will actually type in PC repair plus a city name. Guess what? There's searches for that too. And people will type in data recovery. That's huge, by the way. So data recovery plus their city name or their zip codes, and that's another reason for the zip codes, and also surrounding suburbs in the area too. And then obviously virus and spiral removal. That's huge, especially if you're still running off of PCs. It doesn't happen if you have Macs, by the way. Anyways, so these are my basically these are my 5 main keywords that I want to rank for. I want to rank for computer repair plus a city name, laptop repair, PC repair, data recovery, and viral spiral removal. These are my mud keyword terms. Add it all up in a good metropolitan area, I'm probably looking around 10,000 broad searches or more. I'm looking at a very, very lucrative lead gen site. So now let's just break it down. This one part here, laptop repair, just that section right there, it looks like it looks like I call it a silo. It looks like a grain silo. If you're driving down a country farm road or something, this would be one silo here. Now this silo here, it's exactly the same as this. This is just a single silo. That is just laptop repair. Boom. That's all. The same. Okay. This is laptop repair. Below here, I just have posts. I know I got the little lines here. Don't think this is daisy chained. This is not. This laptop, let's say the topic here would be laptop liquid spill repair. That would be the anchor text that goes where. It's going to point right to laptop repair because it's directly related to it. Laptop keyboard repair. That'll be my anchor text. Okay. And one anchor text, where does it go? It doesn't go to any other post. It only goes to the top of the page here, which is laptop repair, and so on and so forth. Laptop screen repair. So what is this telling Google and the search engines? These dudes are like experts in laptop repair. I mean, if you want to go someplace and you need laptop repair, these are probably the dudes you need to check out because they've got it coming at every angle. So we've really got this whole thing themed out. We have no links here linking over to any of the other pages because it's not the same concept. It's not the same topic. Laptop repair, I got one link. Anchor text. Where's it going? It's one anchor text. It's going to go right up here to the computer, to the home page. So all this link juice goes from the bottom of here, bam, 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 all the way to link to laptop repair, bam, right up to computer repair. So that's so my ultimate keyword that's getting the most searches that would be the most difficult to rank for would be computer repair plus the city name. But what happens is that Google goes, whoa, these dudes know so much about computer repair because not only are they the experts in laptop repair, but when we went over and we crawled their site too, we also looked PC repair, PC RAM repair, PC power supply repair, PC motherboard repair. And again, these are anchor text going just to silo right here. That's it. Just one anchor text from each one of these posts right here to silo number 2. I have one anchor text in here from PC repair going that would say computer repair or a slight variation of computer repair. Bam, right to the home page. Same with data recovery. Same with viral spiral removal. This kind of structure on here, when you come into the marketplace with a structure like this, you will demolish any other computer repair company in that marketplace, guaranteed, because it's giving it exactly what it wants. And Google looks at this and goes, "You guys are like the Wikipedia of computer repair in Sacramento." So let's take a look at what this actually looks like in the real world. So this particular site here that I made is strictly for training. I just made it. What was it? Computer fix repair Sacramento. So this is it. There's no like content on it. This is purely just training. So this is a mirror image of this diagram right here. Okay. So remember, these are my 5 main keywords: laptop repair, PC repair, data recovery, viral spiral removal, and home computer repair. This is it right here, computer repair. That's it. This is the other one right here. And that's the other one. Notice when I click on these, there is no drop down. There is no other option. Okay, because look, if someone's in the PC repair, this is where I want them to land. We talked about H1, H2 tags earlier on this end of it. How the H1 is the main keyword for the most searches. So PC repair Sacramento has the most searches. That's what we're doing here. We get a slight variation of PC repair, then we're going to use that as the H2 tag on here. And that combined with the posts that are all linking back to this page that are below it, it all lets Google go, you know what, any broad term in PC repair for anybody in the Sacramento surrounding areas, this is a good choice for them. This gets a lot of good content on here. Okay. This one has one anchor text. Where is it going? It's going back to the home page. What does that look like on our feature? What are we at? PC repair. So PC repair right here is going to have one anchor text. I click on it, takes me right here to the home page. That's exactly what this is. So you come in and get a feel for it. Click on it. This is going to take me right here. Okay. Where did I put our posts that are supporting my silos? Where did I put all of them? Because they're not on the side. They're not up here. Okay. Where are they? They're back down in the footer. And here I just went a little bit more extreme. I just showed, and again, this is just widget. You can put a widget for your post. You can put it on the side. Any words across site allows you to do that. You can put it up here in the header, or you can put it down here towards the footer. You don't need any special, WordPress thing to do that. That's a basic thing that every WordPress site has. And I just hit this, and on this, and this is, it's got little breadcrumbs down here, right? If I come over here, it's going to go to another breadcrumb. And Google loves to follow these breadcrumbs, by the way, and they come on the sites when you structure them this way. And so on this site here, this is about viral spiral removal. So what happens when I click on here? Where is this article? This is down here, viral spiral removal. It's one of these posts down here. And it's got one of these anchor text on it. I click on it. Where's it going to go? It's going to take me here. That's exactly what this is right here. I'm going to click on it, and it will take me to right here, that home page. Run my post. I go and click on it. This post is not designed for the end user to come in and read. The way we design these sites is it brings them right here to this page, and this page would be kind of our call to action. It would have, some kind of video on it. It would have the 3 pictures, the call to action, what we just talked about earlier on that end of it. List of cities between 20 and 30 miles with the zip codes. And that's appropriate here because it would depend on the type of lead gen site that you've got. A lot of computer repair guys these days are mobile. If you're in that niche, I'm not in that niche, by the way, but I've done the research on it. It's a darn good niche to be in. And that's how the sites are set up. I mean, that's it. Now, there's going to be occasions where you might need some backlinking. But before we get that, let me just review over here the tops of our silos. So what are the tops of our silos? These are the main keywords that we want to rank for right up here. Laptop repair, PC data, or this one, which makes up the majority of my lead gen sites. It's just a single silo structure. I'm just going after kind of one keyword and getting really niche on that end of it. But those pages, again, the computer repair of the Sacramento Fix. Where's that? Right here, computerfixsacramento.com. These tops of these pages on here go over the same thing. We're just looking at that with about 500-700 words, no magic formula there, a little bit more the better on that end of it. I've got an H1, H2 tag on each one of those sites. The H1's got the most searches, and H2's got the next most searches for that particular keyword. In the photos, I always like to use photos, buy them, don't swipe them off to someone else. Just buy the rights to them. And when you buy them small, they're really expensive, just a couple bucks, so now you can use them and sleep at night. Photos, the alt tags, we're using citations, okay, letting Google know where it's geo-targeted at. And then also on the title, we're giving it a variation of the keyword. We're not trying to stuff it with the keyword on here, and that's for the caption. We just use all-in-one SEO pack. I know there's a lot of other ones out there. Really, at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is we just want to be the ones to determine what's going to be in the search engines, the title, description, and meta tags. I know a lot of people don't put a lot of weight in those, but we still build those out. And that's it. Now, if we do need some kind of backlinking on here, what do we got here? Okay, so you'll notice that all the sites that I shared here are top level, meaning it's a .com, .net, .org. This is another key to ranking quickly, by the way. So this is another piece of the puzzle here. And exact match domain, meaning if my main keyword is mobile mechanic city name, I'm going to have a mobile mechanic Austin. If I can get a .com, .net, .org, it doesn't matter. I think all the sites that I've shared so far are either a .net or .com or .net, .net. That's just what was available. If it's not a .net, I'm going to grab a .org. You probably won't find the .coms very often. The bonds, what was that one? That was a .org. Okay, so and outranking everyone else. Okay, so they rank when you do the site structure this way. Google just loves you because you're so themed out. It's just a themed site on here, and so let me show you a really cool way. This is not how we do our homepage. Our homepage will actually have written and stuff, but for our posts, we like to get our original content. Let me just show you a really quick, easy way to do that, and this is just really super simple to do, actually. Where did I have that? Oh, over here. I want to have my CopyScape ready. I want to show you the original content on here. Okay, and let me go ahead and here, and I'm just going to type in Google Germany. You can do this in any country that you want. So this is just google.de for Germany. So I'm going to click on that. So now I'll be searching. You see up here I have this. I'm searching now within Google for in Germany, not the US one. I go to over here. This is just you just type in Google Translate, and I just put in English article directory, and then and you can select the country that you want it to do, and this is what article directory is in German. So I'm just going to go ahead and just copy that, and then I'll go back over here to go right here, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this, and I'll just go ahead and search it for like that. I probably meant that. I didn't know it. And what's going on the fly? What do we got here? Let's do this one. I can't read this, so what I'm going to do is the nice thing it'll have to translate the page. So I'm thinking this is probably an article directory, but I'm not sure. I like it when it says DE, so there's probably German on that end of it. Let's find out. So the next page should show up in English if it's working correctly. And article directory is just one thing you would search for. You can search for a blog or any kind of topic that you want. And let's see here. Interesting. New driving pleasure with electronic vehicles. This is this could be. I'll read more here. This could be a potential article that totally fits kind of the broader term of maybe mobile mechanic, and it's in that section on here. Okay, it's a little small for me. Got to do a little bit of searching around. Once you kind of hit the mother lode, you'll hit some good ones. But I just want to show you here, new driving pleasure with electronic vehicles. Okay, so a couple things. I want to make sure that I give credit to the actual writer. Here's the writer on that end of it. And then I'm just going to take this, and I want to know if, according to Google English, is this 100% original? This is just a CopyScape. This is a premium account. I'll show you a free way to do it. This costs 5 cents. Check it. So I'm just going to paste it in here. I got no idea, so I'm going to search internet. I have no idea if it's going to show up. But I'm going to log back in. And yeah, so I have it. So right there's no internet results found. That's 270 word. Kind of a down and dirty way to do it is just you can come back to that page, and you can just take a couple of articles and see if Google will find it. So I can just kind of take this, and I can copy it, and I can come back over here to this would be Google US, and I can just paste it in and see if Google finds it. And it doesn't. It finds different sections, right? But it doesn't find it in any. It found electronic scooters worth but it didn't find all in the same thing. So that's another way to do it. So that's how we find 100% original content. But you always want to give credit back to the author of that. And you can literally search for any topic that you want. Those are the ones that we use for our posts on that. Okay. So let's see here. There's one other thing here, and then we'll have to go through and look at some actual how we find the exact match domains, because there might be people thinking, oh, there's no more, top level exact match domains left. There are millions and millions of them in very good niches. So that's not the case at all. If we ever do need backlinks on here, the first thing we start with, and it's just, again, minimal effort, maximum results, is we'll do social bookmarking, and there are like social ARDs. These are like prescription services out there, Social Monkey, but I would suggest that just starting out, you don't want to get locked into a monthly service for that. Fiverr, getting a good do follow, maybe like 150 or 100 do follow social bookmarks for $5. Somebody with good ratings and has 200 or 300 people saying thumbs up, good job, good job. And then I would just take those social bookmarking. That's the first thing we would do, and I would have some of them going to the homepage or the tops of silos, and then some kind of randomly going through and pointing to some of the posts too, just to make it look natural. That's usually enough. If you need anything at all, that's usually enough, because the way the sites are structured and they have such good content to get you right up to page one. If that's not enough, then we wait a little while and we just go down our list here. I like any combination of these things on here. You can get like high PR blog comments. Do follow, and I'm not getting them from Fiverr. I go to eBay, and you can get some really good do follow high PR blog comments, and it doesn't have to be anchor text, by the way. And usually around $15-20, and you can usually get around 5 to 10 like high ones, like PR 3s, 4s, and 5s, and the people that are really good at it have got access to blogs like, I've got blog comments from like National Geographic, NASA, Aerospace, and they'll almost always block it off after there's about 20 or 30 comments. They don't allow we're not talking about a blog comment that's got like 10,000 comments and somebody's just not managing their site. That just looks too junky on that. So these are just some of the other ones that we use, but it's just minimal effort, very slow at time. But normally we're using no backlinks, or if we need some light social bookmarking over time. So I know there's probably a lot of questions here, so let me get these guys back up here, and we're just going to go through and answer some of these questions on here. I think it's pretty basic, but I think it's basic only because I do it all the time, right? So I'll open up the chat box, and then Jack, if you're around, you want to help kind of summarize some of these together too.
Yeah, a lot of people it seems like they think it's too simple.
Good.
Phone coming somewhere.
I like that, too simple.
Yeah, they think it's too simple. Isn't that I got a phone going off right now. There we go. Because about with the duplicate content, and I've talked about the duplicate content for a long time, and I think if we can kind of really zone in and clarify, because I've done that a lot, where I just change out the geographic name, or even slightly alter the service, like you're doing, like laptop screen repair versus laptop motherboard repair, really makes it kind of erases that duplicate content, the way people use those scare tactics for duplicate content. I always call it deceptively similar content to get past that. So can you kind of go through that and so they really make it crystal clear on why this isn't duplicate content in the sense that most people think of duplicate content? Again, with either the geographic changes, the actual keyword, key phrase changes.
Yeah. So if we take a look at Mold Mechanic Dallas, it's going to be the same damn content that we use from Mobile Mechanic New York. Okay. Again, we have a little over 5,000 types of sites up, and we're all doing the same thing as you're running. So this, I'm telling you, this stuff works. The reason it works, and I'll give two examples why, and for most of you, you'll have kind of an aha moment, is first of all, we're geo-targeting this site. We're geo-targeting, we're letting Google know that, hey, yep, we know that this Dallas repair, you know what, it's the same old content that's in Ohio, it's in Indianapolis, it's in Miami. We know that, but guess what? This site isn't for your customers in Chicago. The site isn't for your customers in New York. This is only for your customers in Dallas. And within the Dallas area, in the Dallas IP addresses, it is unique content. Does that make sense? This is content for anybody in Dallas that's searching for this. I don't have another site like this in Dallas that's letting people know, hey, here's my I have over this, here's my address. Oh, and I also have a Dallas, phone number on here. Oh, and look, I don't just service just the Dallas area, but we service the Garland area, Fort Worth area, on here, Lakes, Dallas, all little metro out there, and people do search by zip codes. By the way, I know because we do Google Analytics on all days, and Google Analytics will tell you what people searched on your site. I'm telling you, people will type in 75154 moment all the time. Okay, so and this is letting Google know without question, site is suitable for anybody in the Dallas South. Let's take a look at this one, New York. There's no doubt about it. Same content, same thing, same everything on here, but again, the geo-targeting tags, which is the phone number, the citations that we put within the pictures as the alt tags, and the zip codes below, and instead of saying mobile mechanic repair Dallas, it's now New York. So Google's like, okay, anybody with a New York type IP address, this is the site we're going to show. So it's not duplicate content per the city on here, and other ways that you can do this. And I don't do it this way, by the way. It's not because it's not right or wrong. It's just I have a system that works really well, so I'm just sticking with it. You'll see franchises do this all the time. They'll use literally subdomains. So they'll have exact duplicate for everything. It's like just ours. The home pages are identical, but it's just a subdomain for Dallas, or a subdomain for Fort Worth, or a subdomain for San Diego, and so on and so forth. But it's the exact same home page for all of it. Guess what? This one's for Dallas because it's got that would be the Dallas Best Buy with the Dallas phone number. And this other sub page is just like the same home page for all of our others, but it's for Walmart in Anaheim. And this one is the same page, but it's for the home page for Walmart in Idaho Falls, Idaho. And Google's totally cool with that. It's like, okay, that makes sense. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm not showing theory here. I've got billions and billions and billions of these sites up here, and this is exactly what we're doing on here. So Google is, they were the first ones to realize that the majority of people who are searching for stuff to purchase are doing it locally. So they decided to get in on the local game, the first ones in, and they're totally fine with this. So it makes sense, right? That should.
Yeah, because and that's a perfect example when you think about the franchise model that with a lot of franchises have give their franchisees the exact same website with just different location, phone number, location, the citations, the address, and things like that, and they're not penalized for duplicate content. And I have several sites that has what I call deceptively similar content on the exact same site, not within subdirectories or anything like that, and just by changing out those geographic characteristics or key phrases, there's have no issues with them being penalized at all.
Yep, exactly. No, it's totally proven. And there's, I can go on and on and on. There's a guy out there who does, and he's not one of my students and nothing like that, but he just went into the case studies and kind of studied, and and I do case studies on a lot of these things outside of my own, so that people know that we're not the only ones doing this. There is a very interesting niche out there that is for roof rats. I never even heard about that, but apparently people who have attics, they get rats, and they cause a lot of damage, and they hide in the insulation, and they're really hard to kill, and you don't want to kill them up there because they ferment and outside. They're a real problem. There's a whole niche out there, and when I first realized this, I came across it by accident. It was like Roof Rats San Diego, and he had exact match domains ranking like number one. I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then I did, and then if somebody doesn't hide their IP addresses and their Google Tracks online, I quickly found out, man, this dude's got 150 of these sites. And I started looking at them. I was like, they're identical. They're all the same thing. They just have a different phone number and address on it. I was like, that is amazing. And it was it was an affiliate product actually, which was even more cool. So he was doing affiliate marketing local. So anyways, it works. The franchises do it. Other people do it. Everyone's okay with it, and it just kind of makes sense. So we'll kind of let that go here. So get a lot of feedback. I really appreciate it. By the way, it's always nice to get compliments on here. It says, this is great, Jack. Chris is pulling back the curtains on here. Very generous. Thank you for this sort of training. Good stuff. You're very, very welcome on here. And I've got someone saying, says, oh my God, I finally get it. There's kind of that aha moment on here. And someone asked here, do you ever put like dashes and stuff in there? I don't. But look, you can get any domain to rank. But I'm about speed to marketplace, and I don't want to have to wait for a whole bunch of dash sites to do, because see, what I'm doing is understand what I'm doing here. I like to go through the process of actually how we do this, because this is really important growing task. Is this Mobile Mechanic New York? We're literally taking this and we're using free software to duplicate it. We take out the geo-targeting tags. We've talked about those. We literally duplicate the site, and then we copy it with Mobile Mechanic Austin, and then we copy it onto Mobile Mechanic Boise, Idaho, and then we copy it so on and so forth to our exact match domains. Top level, .net, .org, .com, all three work just fine, as I clearly showed. And then we go in and we add the geo-targetings, and this is how we take a lead gen site from Austin to 150 other cities across the United States, literally within 7 to 14 days. And now the majority of them will not need any backlinking, because the articles, and they got a nice, good themed out structure. They're going to rank very quickly. If we do need something, we sprinkle on, we do the least amount of effort, maximum results. And this is how you're going to get up a whole bunch of lead gen sites really, really fast, okay? And so, good question there. So it doesn't fit speed to marketplace for me and my business model. So I don't mess around with the dashes. Can you get the dashes to rank? Yes, but it takes longer. And if you've got dashes for 100 domains under the same niche, that means you've got 100 times more work to do to get that doing. And there's just too many juicy niches out there in order to not have to go for those. You can find a ton of them on that. As far as the authorship pictures go, the Google authorships, let's go out. We purchase the rights to the pictures, and then we use those. Okay, so we don't be swiping that off of Google, images on that. Just spend a couple extra bucks. You need the smaller resolution one, and then you can sleep good at night on here. So really, really good stuff in here. People are digging this in here. Let me show you really quickly on this, on how, now that you kind of, a lot of people on here, because you guys are already in the kind of local game anyways, and most people here have got it, but there'll be a replay if you don't know. Okay. Let me show you how I monetize this stuff, okay? Because I showed you early on that you can do pretty well doing this, and it's all about scalability. It's about McDonaldizing it. How do we get from here into the marketplace as quick as possible? So with that, let's kind of do it together, okay? So we can get some activity on here. I told you earlier that the riches are actually in the niches on that end of it. So let's actually dive in and just see how we find these kind of profitable niches on this end of it. And we'll kind of get rid of this. And let's take a local industry that that has a lot of riches in the niches. This one's kind of an easy one, but there's not very, you're going to find out there's not very many people into this. So right now we're about to find, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 really good niches you could do this exact model that I'm talking about here. So let's do the insurance niche. If you were going to go into insurance, and you were to try to rank for insurance in any city, that's going to be pretty hard to do. You can do it. It's going to take a lot of backlinking. You have to do a lot of work to it. But I'm talking about getting top level domains, really theming out your site. So I don't know that much about all the variations of insurance, but that's what we're looking at. We're trying to think to ourselves, what kind of really niche products does insurance do on here? And so let me know out there what kind of niche kind of topics, services that an insurance company would offer, and we'll see if that would qualify as a good lead gen site that we can immediately go out. Oh, got some good stuff on here. Teenage drivers, I like that. SR22, awesome. Renters insurance, good. Homeowners, good. Business insurance, you all have the right ideas. This is exactly it. And you can, if you do a little bit more research, you can find a whole bunch of different types in here. So I'm just gonna randomly pick these. I have no idea whether they're not, but this is exactly how I do it in the real world. So I'm gonna do homeowner, renter insurance. Why not? We'll just kind of keep it there. So let's come back here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna do renters insurance, and I'll just do Phoenix, and I'll do another city here. Renters insurance, Houston. Actually, I think there's something wrong with the algorithm with the Phoenix area. Notice no matter what I type, it's not giving me any results back. So I'm going to do San Diego. Google has mistakes, just like everyone else. That's renters insurance. What was that? Homeowners insurance. Now these are kind of, this is not very niche-y, by the way, so there may not be some. We'll find out. Home. Let's say one more. Try homeowners insurance, and we'll do San Diego again, and I'll just do one more here. Home owners. I like the teenager stuff. That's probably another kind of good one there, but you guys have got the right idea. So, and then now, okay, so what I'm looking for to make this work for me, my minimum criteria for the local searches, and I'm okay with broad because our site's one looking for broad, is I want a minimum of 1,000. The higher the better, right? And then at a cost per click, I'm very interested in what people are willing to pay for a cost per click, because what I do is I offer something that's superior to a click. It's not what a business owner wants. A business owner wants a live call. I'm offering live calls to the customers with the lead gen sites. So far, everyone that you just gave, just like that, totally fits. They're all above 1,000, all above 100, so I'm totally cool with that. And my cost per click minimum that I want to see is $5. Now, if someone's willing to pay around, let's just average this out. Someone's willing to pay $10 for a click. You got to think about how many clicks they got to get a phone call, and how many phone calls do they got to get to actually close the deal and make some money. So, it's probably, everything's going to be different, but maybe around 10 clicks. So maybe they got to spend $100 there, and maybe they've got, insurance salesmen are pretty good at sales. So let's just say they get a 50% closing ratio, so they got to get 2 phone calls. So in other words, they had to spend around $200 in order to get a customer. I don't know that for sure. I'm just trying to get you guys kind of wrapped around that whole business model. That's the business model I'm in when I create these lead gen sites. So now what's step 2? It's a really easy business. This is step 1, niches are the niches. Step 2, I wanted to make sure that I have some exact match domains, top level, it's all I need. So I use this cool little site here. This is just geo dot GoDaddy.com. So I love this whole site. I used to use the Market Samurai and Market Domain. Now I use this. So first thing I do here is I just select all U.S. metro cities, and I'm going to have it begin with. So it's going to begin with our keyword, and it's going to end with all U.S. metro area cities. And I want top level, so I don't want a me, I don't want a mobile, I don't want a biz, I don't want an info. I don't mess with that stuff. I've tried it before. It takes too long to rank. I want to rank quickly, and I want us to stay up there. So .com, .net, .org, top level. what did we do first? What was it? It was renters, right? Renters insurance. Spell it right? Yes. Okay. Let me hit go. I love this. It'll just populate all over the map. Boom. If there's okay. So I just think this is the coolest thing. So we just take here. I hover over it. It says Renters Insurance Portland. That's PortlandOregon.net. I mean, I got a lot of sites here. Like first, I wouldn't buy them all at once. I'll tell you why. San Jose. I got some good. Look, Los Angeles. Look at this. I got big cities in Texas, Dallas. I know behind there's going to be Fort Worth. So this is a very good viable niche. So how I would approach this, and this is exactly how my company does it, is we'll come up here and we'll go, okay, well let's do an East Coast one. We'll just select one here. I go for the ones with the highest populations right away because I'm not scared of that stuff. I want as many leads as I can possibly get in. So I might do a Los Angeles. Totally cool with that. So I pick up a Los Angeles. I might do a Midwest. So I might do a Dallas, and I might do an East Coast. Raleigh Hills is fine. What's this? Miami or something? No, Jacksonville. I'm cool. Philadelphia. So something like those three. I'm doing exactly the same. Right. I just put the site out once, and I just change the geo-targeting. Okay. And I just duplicate it out. I get out those three cities, and I just get to know the niche. And I'm doing a paper call and also a paper lead with the opt-in. Remember, I put about 4 people who visit your LinkedIn actually randomly fill out forms and actually call. And so I'm selling those out. And I'm just going to know what this insurance agents are willing to do this. Now, this is what's cool about insurance agents. I just thought of this right now, is that insurance agents don't just sell renters insurance, right? They sell homeowners insurance. They sell life insurance. They can sell you any kind of insurance you want, and they want to bundle it all together for you, so you could start doing multiple of these specific kind of niche sites and sell them to the same company or people. Now, do we have a exact match to me? What was it? Homeowners insurance? Homeowners insurance. Let's spell that right. Homeowners insurance. Okay. I'm gonna let's go ahead here. Can I do that? It's gonna let me do that or not. Let me refresh it one more time. Yes. Okay. So we got homeowner. It begins with homeowners insurance plus the city name. I just got all these Albuquerque. I got a whole bunch of California. It's awesome. Los Angeles again. There's the Portland, Oregon. There's the Seattle, Washington. So those two right there fit my criteria 100%. I got ACMatch top level domains. I got more than 1,000, more than 100 searches. So I'm at 400, 1,400. I got an average cost per click of greater than $5. So we go back here and we go, hey, really paying $10 for these. Let's just see who's paying $10 for this right now. I'll go to Google search, Google clients. Right here, again, top 3 people. These right over here. I already know that they're paying around $12 or so per a click, and I'm going to be giving them a superior service. So these are already people that I want that are going to